Nation, what is going on? Coming to you guys after this bullcrap game. About them refs, huh? You can miss all those field goals, but I guess the ref can't change anything about the way they call this game. Shout out to Raider Nation. This is episode 129 coming at you guys. Let me jump over to my notes. We're coming to you guys live from the 559. Definitely not the ending that we wanted. This was a must-win game for Raider Nation. Whenever we're looking at playoff hopes now at this point, not looking very good. This is something that we needed. We needed to win all three games. We needed to win out, right? And even at that point, it wasn't going to look very good for us. I think it was like an 85% chance that we even get in at 10-6. 9-7, ouch. I don't know. I'm not really sure even what to think of this, Raider Nation. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Stage Door Casino, right, for multiple Best of Las Vegas awards, right? So Stage Door Casino, they came in and they placed gold in Best Hot Dog, and they placed silver in Best Cocktail Bar, Best Martinis, Best Pub, and Best Specialty Cocktails, and bronze in Best Sports Bar. So big time shout out to Stage Door Casino. Make sure you guys visit blacksundayshop.com. That's where you get this Carhartt hoodie. No promo code needed. They're having big sales. They have all kinds of gear in there. Load up. Spend over $75. Get like a specialty box. But man, no Ruggs, no Abram, Morrow, Arnett, no offensive coordinator. Also, I mean, no excuses, honestly. Derek getting hurt, I mean, that obviously hurt us. Wasn't what we were looking for. What really hurt us, honestly, at this point, man, Steve Hill, you can jump out the chat. Thanks, appreciate you. So anyways, I think what hurt us the most in this game wasn't the injuries, wasn't the COVID stuff against us, wasn't the players being missed, wasn't the offensive coordinator being gone. It was honestly just the bland and nothing play calling that was going on at the goal line. In key situations, key downs, everything that's going down, whenever you need to score, whenever you need to put up points, whenever you need to move the ball, whenever you need to get a first down, John Gruden needs to dial something up that's a little bit better. Shout out to the chat, Van Guy 209, I see you in there. Gruden play calling has killed us. We should have gone for it the last time. Defense hasn't stopped Herbert the whole game. I completely agree, and that's kind of been the whole problem here. Honestly, I mean, I don't even know what to even talk about with this game. What hurts the most? I mean, there's everything against us, but we still had every chance to win this football game. So there's absolutely no excuses. Let's quit messing around. Let's get in this game review. And trust me, this is a game I do not want to review at all. But going to the first quarter, I tell you, it's been the same song and dance for whatever reason last year. It seemed like every time we opened up a game last year, we'd come out hot first drive. Every single first drive, it seemed like we had the perfect game plan dialed up, the perfect drive dialed up. We'd get in there, we'd probably put up 7, 9 times out of 10, seemed like. This year, complete opposite story. We get out there, we fall flat. We've been getting more 3-and-outs than I could even imagine on the first drive. That turns into soft defense. That turns into the opposing offense, no matter who they are, chipping away and getting down there and scoring points, whether it's 3 or 7. Most of the time lately it's been 7. Two Ace Kane, jump in the chat. I appreciate the donation. Two Ace Kane says, Mullen got to go ASAP. Can't be a pro like that. Look, listen, Mullen got picked on a lot, but I'm also going to say that Mullen's, some of those, I mean, gosh, he was playing scrappy. And at some point, you got to let those guys play. And this was just a game where the refs were not on our side, and you can blame 27 all you want, but he's playing scrappy. They were getting handsy. He was getting handsy. He's going to get in their way. They're going to get his way. And that's how it was working. It just so happened that the refs had no intention of calling anything our direction, and that's the way it unfolded. 27 did not look at this game because of that exact reason. So we get down in there, and this is where kind of the game really went south. And I was getting down on the goal line. It's like a third goal. Derek rolls out, pulls his groin. Something that I think, might have been bugging him for a while. Is what it is. Derek obviously was very hurt. Couldn't come back the rest of the game. And from there, we got Marcus Mariota. I'm going to go through this little game review. I'm going to do it pretty quick. I want to talk to my guy, Kenny King, and get this thing over with. Because really, this game was our playoff hopes, Raider Nation. This is what we're banking on. And it's not going to come down to just this game. This is where now we go back and we look at the last 3, the last 4. After that Chiefs game, what happened to us after that? Because that's where now all of a sudden you see everything that was going on. You see the collapses, you see the bad play, And this is where they could have saved it. This is where we could have that legit bounce back in a must-win situation, and now our chances are slim to none. So, rest of the game unfolds. Marcus Mariota gets in there, and he plays pretty well, especially that first drive he came in. He's rolling out. He's getting some quarterback options. When he had the ball in his hand and he had some open space, really, the Chargers defense obviously wasn't prepared for Marcus Mariota playing. So, I mean, I think we should have took a little bit more advantage of that. I think number 8 should have been running a little bit more. Whenever the ball was in his hands and we needed a key down in distance, we needed a first down, we needed a touchdown at the end of the game, he might have not quite been prepared. And the defense obviously, was dialing up still plays. It looked like, Derek Carr should have been in there on that. Derek Carr could have got probably some of those points on the board. Is what it is. Nothing on Marcus, because Marcus came in as a backup and he played very well. He had me cheering for him, had me very excited. Number 8, dude, I'm telling you, he came in and he actually lived up to the money today. I felt like that we paid him for. Unfortunately, we didn't come away with the game, and that's going to come down to John Gruden. I'm going to be flat up honest. Until John Gruden can get a grip on this, until John Gruden can come in there and maybe grow a pair whenever it comes to key down and distances. Whenever we cannot dial stuff up for Jason Witten, or no offense to Jason Witten, no offense to Alec Ingold, no offense to those guys. Why aren't we going to Agholor? Why aren't we going to Waller? Why aren't we getting Josh Jacobs involved in those key situations? So we're going to halftime down 10-17. Things aren't looking very good. They get the ball at halftime. We force them to a punt. We get down, we score a touchdown, right? The Chargers go down, they score a touchdown. We're down by a touchdown. Then we go back, and going into the fourth quarter, we score another touchdown. It's looking like a football game, 24-24, and we get into this weird scenario of letting them drive down. They kick a field goal. No, I'm sorry, they kick a field goal. They miss the field goal, right? Still 24-24. We get the ball. We're driving down. And this was very controversial because what is like a minute and 40-something left on the clock, and we had a chance to maybe put this game away. We're getting down in the red zone. Was definitely not a passing situation. That's one thing. Wasn't a very good throw. Wasn't a good catch, and it ended up being, a little bit behind the receiver. Tipped, picked, brought all the way to the other side. Defense comes up with a big stop, right? Big stop on third down. They missed another field goal. We got completely saved on that. And then after that, for whatever reason, the Raiders get the ball back. We have a little bit of time left on the clock. Just poor clock manage it, whether it's John Gruden, whether it's Marcus Mariota, whether it was just the entire offense had no drive in them to get this thing going. And I don't know, the game just ends with us trying to kick a field goal from midfield, and I don't know what happened. And all of a sudden, he's muffing the field goal, he's muffing the hold, and the game's over. The fourth quarter's over. So we start up halftime. We win the toss. We get driving down the field. We get all the way down to the goal line and can't make things happen. This is that flat play calling I'm talking about. Some weird rollout, giving us one option, quarterback rolling out, nobody else there except Alec Ingold. We've seen this before where you roll out and all you see literally is a Jason Witten or an Alec Ingold or somebody just super random. So I don't know what to say. That play was, the end of the game. That's on John Gruden. There's nothing else that can be said about this football game. John Gruden should have came in. He should have been a better game plan. Whenever you get in these key situations, a guy that I felt like was dialing up third down plays better than any other coach in the league, all of a sudden falls flat. What are we doing that's so different? What's going on? Because with Marcus Mariota, ball should have been in his hand literally 75% of the time on those key down and distances. You get those run, throw options. You get those RPOs. I can't even tell you. Big time missed opportunity right here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to segue into our first break, and then I'll be bringing my guy on, Kenny King Jr. Listen up, Raider Nation, because today I have a new Manscaped product for you. Manscaped just released the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. Take a look in the mirror, and I guarantee you'll see hair sticking out of those holes. Probably not near as bad as Tom Brady, but still, nah, I'm just kidding. As much as that guy gets Botox, I'm sure he gets his nose hairs trimmed. And even you ladies, I know some of y'all could use this thing, but fellas, it's time to keep your ear and nose hairs looking as nice and clean as your clean-shaven balls. Nobody likes plucking nose and ear hairs, so Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with their Weed Whacker. This nose and ear hair trimmer provides the proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. I'm telling you, look at this thing. Really gets after it. See, I'm good. See, because I use this thing often, so there's not much in there. We're cleaned out. We're good. Looking good. Got the nose hairs all trimmed up. The premium Manscaped Weed Whacker uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. Its intelligently contoured design enhances the trimming experience and is waterproof, which makes for easy operation and cleaning. Have you ever pulled out your nose hair with your fingers? I'm telling you, it might hurt, honestly, more than watching the Raiders defense give up a first down on 3rd and 14. But Manscaped is making whacking your weeds a time to look forward to, delivering maximum confidence while providing hygiene. And yes, you will get a replaceable blade every 3 months to keep your weed whacking time clean and enjoyable. It's time to upgrade your Manscaped routine with the Weed Whacker. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code RaiderCody at manscaped.com. So thank you, Manscaped, for keeping our pubes trimmed and hairs in our holes looking nice. Like I said, again, get 20% off and free shipping with code RaiderCody at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using promo code RaiderCody. What are you waiting for? Whack your weeds. Get after it. So Raider Nation, we are back here in the place. Let me dump off this chat real quick. See if we can knock it off here. Wherever I'm at. Maybe I don't have it. There we go. There we are. Okay, so joining me now, because we're in the 559, we're doing a little watch party here. And joining me now is my buddy Joseph with Mojo's Lawn Services, man. And this, I want to give a quick shout out because I feel like it's been put on me a little bit to where through this crazy time, we need to be supporting local businesses, right? Everything that's going on. And here in the 559, if you're around Tulare, Visalia, you do a route in Hanford, right? Where can we find your lawn service? And for Raider Nation out there, if you're a Raiders fan, you want Raider Nation cutting your grass, man, where can we find you?
Yes, sir. So I'm here located, Tulare, California. I do have a route in Hanford.
There we go.
And I'm looking forward to sprouting out to Visalia areas, Exeter, wherever around Tulare, California as of right now. I'm 4 months in by myself. Just started off. I got 8 years of experience. So I'm just looking forward to just keep going, man. Got big goals, you know.
Yeah, you got the experience. Now it's just, getting the clientele, getting everything involved. So,
yes,
Raider Nation, if you're in the 559, make sure you look for my guy Mojo. Drop the phone number, drop whatever. If you got a social media, where can we find you?
Yeah, so phone number 559-679-5779. Mojo's Lawn Service. That's MOWJOES Lawn Service. I got an Instagram, Facebook, so you can find me on there. Yeah, give it a follow. Check out the work.
Yeah. Good stuff, dude.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you jumping in. Not the game we wanted, man, but big-time Raider fan, and we'll see you in Vegas, right?
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. So, Raider Nation, jumping into this thing, we're going to give our guy Kenny King Jr., we're going to take one more break. We're going to give our guy Kenny King Jr. a call, and we're going to wrap up this post-game show. Not the way we wanted to, but the best way we possibly can. So, we'll be right back. Listen up, Raider Nation, because Kenny King Jr., brother, can you hear me? Let's see here. Let's see if I can get you in here. Hold on 1 second. Kenny King, you there?
Yep, that's good.
There we are. Now I can hear you. Sitting here. I'm not really sure what to think, man. I don't know. I'm sitting on the ledge. Talk me off it. Should I sit here and sulk? What is going on, man?
I'm not the one to talk you off the ledge today because this is not what I expected. But I'm going to tell you right now, Cody, this is a team that watching this game, watching the way that they played, even if they were to win out, even if they were to win this game, win the next 2 games, if the Ravens were to lose a game, if the Browns were to lose a game against the Ravens, this is a team that is not ready for the playoffs. This is a team that if they went to the playoffs, they would get destroyed. And this was maybe a godsend that they didn't win today because we can put all the playoff talk behind us.
Yeah. Here we are, though. Who normally I do a lights out player of the game. Obviously, there's been reason to not pick a lights out player of the game in most weeks, the last 4 weeks. This game is different. I feel like we're in a situation where there's honestly blame to be put on somebody. And I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Like I said, I'm sitting on this ledge, and there's reason for me to sit here and look at all the players we're missing. No offensive coordinator. Derek goes down. All this stuff going on. Everything was against us. But I feel like we're still in position to win this football game. And I cannot help but look at John Gruden right now. And whenever we got into key situations, and we played a heck of a game, Kenny King. Marcus Mariota came in and did exactly what we wanted to do as the highest paid backup quarterback. We had the highest paid quarterback room in the NFL, right? Or first or second, whatever it was. It was up there. And we were looking for whenever number 8's number got called, he actually played well. And he did. He put us in situations. Josh Jacobs stepped up. Nelson Agholor had big catches. Darren Waller was huge. But whenever it came down to it, play calling fell flat. And I felt like we tried to get cute. And just like most times we try and get cute in these situations, it didn't work for us, Kenny.
Yeah, and one of the things that, we touched on in the halftime show, and I said, play to Marcus Mariota's strengths.
Yeah.
When they played to his strengths, the Raiders did well. They were able to move the ball. They were able to get down the field. They were able to score. As soon as they stopped playing to his strengths and they started to do what John Gruden thought was what was best for him or whoever, that's when things started to go wrong. That field goal at the end of the game was probably the dumbest call ever, especially with the way that the defense has been playing for the whole game, the way that Trayvon Mullen had been playing the whole game.
It's the second week in a row we relied, whatever it was, on our defense to win the football game.
Right, and you can't do it. I'm sorry, with this defense, you cannot rely on this defense to win a game. You have when we're in the red zone. I said this to Jason Fitz. If we're in the red zone, you have to go for it.
Yeah.
I would rather go for 6 and get nothing than go for 3 and then leave the defense and go and try to defend the field, because at least we're trying. I feel like with a field goal, it's a concession. You're not even trying to get it at that point, and you're saying, hey, defense, go out there and embarrass us.
Yeah. I'm not really sure where we're sitting here, Kenny King, because this is something where at the end of the season, this little collapse, it came down to very many just weird decisions, like weird things to where I felt like it was like 1 or 2 plays away from shifting the momentum of the game, and we didn't grasp it. Times where this offense was what got us here. It wasn't ever the defense, and it wasn't ever. This is why I'd even said I was very excited. I shouldn't say very excited, but there was a lot of relief whenever Paul Guenther was relieved of his duties. There's something that we've endured long enough. It was better for both of us, better for him, better for the Raiders to get kind of a fresh start. But I knew going into this, especially on a short week, and not even just the short week, it's going to be like this last 3 games no matter what, now last 2. But Rod Marinelli isn't going to be able to come in here and play savior. He's not going to be able to come in here and completely change the scheme. He's not going to be able to come in here and work a bunch of magic, change everything around, and turn this defense into a different identity that they're not. No, he's going to have to take the same thing that they're doing and just practice things a little bit different, talk to them a little bit differently, play call a little bit differently, and hope things change. Now, did they change? A little bit, but we're also relying on, the back end of our defense was something that we haven't seen pretty much all year. Eric Harris just now barely got inserted back into the lineup, and then we're throwing Daryl Worley, a guy who was off the practice squad. Now, I'm not making excuses, Kenny, but everything was against us, and we still had a chance to make it happen, and that's what pisses me off.
But you know what? The fact of the matter is this Chargers team that we played is not a good team.
No, they're not. And they're going to charge her all the time, but we Raiders more.
And aside from Justin Herbert, they aren't a good team. They didn't use Keenan Allen. Austin Eckler was in there sparingly. Mike Williams is in there sparingly. That was not a good Charger team that we played, and that right there tells you how bad the Raiders looked.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that goes on Gruden. You have to say, okay, look, Derek goes down. Marcus comes in. He plays great. I give all the props to Marcus. He did everything he could to try to get us to win that game. Now, there was an interception. Some would say that it was on him. Some would say that it was on Zay. I personally look at it like this. If it hits the wide receiver's hands and it bounces off the wide receiver's hands, that's on the receiver. I'm not going to fault Marcus for that.
Yeah, well, if Derek threw it, it would have been his fault, though.
Oh, of course. But this is in a situation where that was a pivotal moment of the game. That was where we could have sealed the game right there and not have to go to overtime. But then you get to overtime, you opt to kick the field goal, and then you end the game the way that it ended. You knew exactly what was going to happen, and when it came down to it, the defense once again could not hold their own. They could not do what they were supposed to do, and stupid penalties forced the Chargers down the field, just like in the Kansas City game. Jonathan Abram made a bonehead play in the Kansas City game and gave the Chiefs the opportunity to get in there and score.
Yeah.
Trayvon Mullen made a boneheaded play tonight, and it gave the Chargers the opportunity to win the game.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the situation here. As much as I didn't want to bring this argument up, I was hoping it was just going to be a win, and we didn't have to talk about it. Now, the Derek and Marcus thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like we have a very sound offense. And obviously, it's complemented Derek very well this year, where he's played very well. He's had great plays, and we've been a top 10 offense easily this entire season. Now, whenever Marcus comes in, he looks great. He's playing great. He has a little bit different style to him than Derek does. Comes in, I feel like he moved the ball just the way our offense would have whenever Derek was in there. Like I said, different style, but I think same amount of yards, same production, same points. Now, this is kind of where I think where we really start to understand maybe who's at fault. What is going on in those key situations? Again, does this fall on Gruden? Kenny King, like I said, I hate putting blame on this whole thing, but it's in the same breath, it is the same song and dance with each quarterback. As much as I'd love number 8 to get in there and succeed, it was the same thing that was frustrating and the same thing I felt was missing with number 8 that I feel like gets fans frustrated with number 4, and it's those key situations where things just don't go our way.
At this juncture, all fingers point to Gruden. He's the guy that Mark Davis brought in for a 10-year contract to make $100 million. He's the guy that was brought in to be the savior of this franchise. It goes on him. He's the guy that hired Paul Gunther. He's the guy that brought in some of these players that are questionable players. When you look across the league, and not a knock on Olsen at all, but Olsen is a glorified quarterback coach. When you look around the league, look at Kansas City, for example. You have Andy Reid, who's an exceptional play caller, but his offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, is just as good, if not better. He draws up some crazy plays, and he puts the Chiefs in position to win. You look around the league, there's a lot of head coaches that, while they may be offensive gurus, they have offensive coordinators who know exactly what they're going to do, and they complement and they add another wrinkle to that. John Gruden doesn't have anybody to do that. Olsen is not a guy who is going to drop a play on the dirt and say, this is going to work and it's going to go for 50 yards. We need somebody like that, and that's on Gruden. Gruden has to add somebody who's going to challenge him. Gruden can't be the end all be all, and he can't be the guy that makes all the plays. He can't be the guy that makes all the calls on this. He has to bring in somebody who's going to challenge him on this and say, no, we're not going to do a 5-yard dump off. We're going to go 50 yards and we're going to go down the field and we're going to run it down their throat.
So is this where we fire up the mock drafts, Kenny King?
Look, I mean, yeah, you got to fire up the mock. I mean, this is at this point you got to get players healthy. You know what I'm saying? I want to know, the severity of Derek's injury. What's going on with Derek? If Derek's not 100%, don't trot him out there on Saturday. If the playoff hopes are out the window, don't trot him out there on Saturday. Let Marcus play. Let Marcus play and showcase himself so the Raiders have an opportunity to maybe move him and get some compensation for him. Yeah. Also, you got to see what we have on this team. Get some of these backups in the game. Who are some players out that are going to be able to go out there and show that they want to play, that they want to be Raiders? Because at this point in the season, you have to look and see who is going to play, who's somebody that's going to go down the stretch, and who's going to be ready to fight and not just fight on Twitter.
Oh, man. Talk about that, right? I feel like everything was in our heads. And, we kind of got this warning a few weeks ago that the locker room was kind of just getting a little shambled. And I'm not going to blame it on that. I'm not going to blame it on immaturity. I'm not going to blame it on the players' mentality. But definitely there's something, missing here these last few weeks. And that little string of losses isn't good for us. So, Kenny King, to wrap the show up, man, you know what we're going to do next week, brother?
What?
We're going to wake up and look for a W. No matter what, just win, baby. And
any given Sunday.
Even any given Sunday. Any given Saturday against the Dolphins. And things might not be in our favor. Things might not be going the way we're going, but what else can we do? I'm not going to sit here. Definitely not going to die on this hill of sadness. We're just going to we're going to truck on through it. I see a promising future. Our team keeps improving. Unfortunately, I guess we got to see what we can do else coaching-wise, see what we can do to keep our players more healthy, put them in better situations, and keep their heads on straight for a full season. But we're right there. Let's get fans back in the stadium next season and see what we can do. Kenny King Jr., appreciate you, brother, and we'll be talking again soon.
All right, brother.